क्वेश्चन इन फ्रंट ऑफ यू फ्रॉम द इंडियन इकोनॉमिक सर्विस 2023। तो यहाँ पे पूछा गया है व्हाट इज द मोनोपोली पावर ऑफ ए फर्म एंड एनी वन मेथड हाउ कैन वी मेजर द मोनोपोली पावर। तो सबसे पहले हम लोग डिफाइन करते हैं व्हाट इज मोनोपोली पावर। मोनोपोली पावर यानी कि हमें पता है कि मार्केट जितना कॉम्पिटिटिव से मोनोपोली की तरफ जाएगा, कंपटीशन उतना कम होते जाएगा और एज ए रिजल्ट प्राइस ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा हम लोग एज अ सेलर higher prices can be charged. Now तो मोनोपोली पावर का मतलब है कि एक सेलर कितना ज्यादा प्राइस चार्ज कर सकता है विच विल बी मोर देन द मार्जिनल कॉस्ट। ओके, क्योंकि हमें पता है जब कंपटीशन होता है तो P = MC होता है, तो द एबिलिटी ऑफ द सेलर टू चार्ज अ प्राइस मच हायर देन MC, दैट इज दिस। तो एक सेलर जितना ज्यादा प्राइस चार्ज कर सकता है मोर देन MC, जितना ज्यादा डिफरेंस होगा प्राइस और MC में उतना ज्यादा मोनोपोली पावर होगा एक किसी सेलर का इन द मार्केट। So that means monopoly power refers to the extent of control or market dominance that a firm holds within a particular industry or market. It signifies the ability of a firm to influence the market conditions including pricing, output levels and competition due to its substantial market share and limited or no significant competitors, right? So the difference between the price charge and the marginal cost. So the higher the ability of the seller to charge a price, more is the monopoly power of that seller. Now one way to measure the monopoly power is Lerner's index. Okay, and Lerner's index is basically the ratio of the difference between price charge and the marginal cost of production by the price charge, that is PL = P minus MC whole divided by P. Okay, that is the Lerner's index. Now there is another way of calculating the monopoly power, and that is the relation between Lerner's index with elasticity, right? So let us try to understand this in the following way. So we know relation between MR, AR and elasticity, right, is given by MR = AR into 1 minus 1 by mod of EP, correct? Now L = P minus MC by P, and in equilibrium we know MC is equals to MR. So let us put it here, then we get L = P minus MR by P, or I can write down 1 minus MR by P. Now P is nothing but AR. Now let us put the value of MR here, okay? That is L = 1 minus MR is AR into 1 minus 1 by EP by P. Now as I told you, AR is equals to P, so AR and P gets cancelled. Now L is equals to 1 minus 1 plus 1 by EP. So that means L is equals to 1 by EP. So Lerner's index, which indicates monopoly power, and elasticity of demand. So reciprocal of elasticity. So that means monopoly power is indirectly proportional to the elasticity of demand curve, right? That means for a elastic demand curve, monopoly power will be low, okay? And for inelastic, the monopoly power will be higher. So how can we conclude the point? We can write down higher elasticity of demand implies lower price charged, implies lower monopoly power, which is measured by L, correct? Similarly, lower EP, that means inelastic. So higher EP means elastic. So elasticity and monopoly power are inversely proportional. More elastic, less monopoly power. Less elastic, more monopoly power. Lower EP means relatively inelastic. That means you can charge higher price. It will not affect the demand, right, much. It is not so responsive to the price change. So higher monopoly power. Okay. So how can we interpret it? So the elasticity implies what? Even for a slightest change in price, the demand for the product will change a lot, right? So if you change the price even for say slightest change in increase in price, there will be drastic fall in quantity demanded, right? So obviously price cannot be charged much higher than the marginal cost. So the price difference, that is L is equals to P minus MC by P also, right? So this difference cannot be much because prices cannot be charged higher if it is elastic. So that means the monopoly power will be low. But if the price charge is higher, that means inelastic. So if the prices are increasing, there will not be a drastic fall in quantity demand because it is not so responsive, and that is why it is inelastic. So in that case, there will be monopoly power, right? So this is how, using this formula or this formula, both of them implies the same result. And this is it for this answer.